I'm sure many of us has said, "Oh, so cute," when we see a puppy or a kitten playing in its own world, chasing its own tail or catching its own shadow. Some of us would even bend down and pet it. Some of us are lucky. I mean it. You get to be greeted every morning with a loving meow or a loving woof. To those people, I say, count those as your blessings. Now, my life was touched at many levels by an abandoned street dog who was only 2 weeks old and given 1 week left to live because she was not from a litter, from a pedigree dog. Our love affair started with warm cuddles and a wet nose against my face every night. Now, life was bliss. I had everything. What more could I have wanted? Well, according to my mother, she said that I needed another pet, that one wasn't enough. And so and behold, joy. A tabby cat came into our life. He was again rescued, and he was an exact copy of Simba. Now, you know how cats are. They usually own everything. That means he would usually own Fluffy's food, Fluffy's bed, and generally ruling the roost. Over the course of time, my parents thought that everything was fine. But according to my mother, she said that it wasn't enough. But this time, she didn't pick the pet. The pet picked her. And thus came snowing into our family, where as time went by, the number of people living in the house had overrun by the cats and the animals. And each time a new member came to our family, Fluffy would look at me with her soft brown eyes and tilt her head and say, "Do you like this? Does this make you happy?" Well, I don't mind it as long as I have you. Over here is where I learned my first life lesson. There's always place in your heart to love one more. Now, can you imagine a dog who's never stayed with a cat until she was 6 years old, had accepted one, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one. Each time she would accept it, she would look at me. And each time, she taught me that love, that heart, is the strongest muscle that grows in love. That the more you use it, the stronger it gets. She taught me that there's everything within the moment, with the people around you, with the people that you love. Now, as time went by, our fairy tale here looks rather pleasing. That it's happy, we have a loving family, 4 cats, 1 dog. What more could we have wanted? Well, in every fairy tale, there is tragedy. And in mine, it was the apartment management, who said that we weren't allowed to keep our dog, and that we had to remove her out of the apartment complex. If my blood could boil, I was filled with rage and anger in the injustice that she was feeling just because she was a dog. At that very moment, I said that this is impossible. My family was being broken apart. My dream life was being destroyed. But we didn't give up. We stood our ground and we fought. But the society and its regulations were not willing to change for us. And this is where I learned my second life lesson. Sometimes the hardest decisions are the best ones to make for all who are in it. So when we were told to move Fluffy out of our apartment, we said, okay, we'll move her out of the apartment, but keep her in an independent house where my father's staff stayed. This would mean that I would be able to meet her every day, but this would also mean that she would be around people who didn't love her the way that I did. After this, I was heartbroken that she was no more with us. The house felt empty, and the cats ruling over everything had taken over everything of hers. And this is where I learned my third life lesson. That due to her leaving, I knew that I was in grief. I was in pain. And my parents had moved on. They had consoled each other. They were learning to adapt to the surroundings. But I was still in pain. I learned that people process grief and pain differently, at different paces, at different times. And at this moment is where I learned that my pain could never go away, but it could change from pain to gratitude. From that gratitude, I was able to learn that Fluffy had developed new friends in the place where she was living, that she was able to roam around freely, that she was free to do whatever she wanted in a garden and with her people. But the memories still are with us. Within this year, we were told that we had to vacate this house. And this is where Faith had its wicked joke. We left that house because the landlady had said that we had sold the house already, and we had to vacate it. So the vacation of the house didn't mean that we would search for the staff first, where would they stay, but where would Fluffy stay? That's the first idea that came to our mind. And in our earnestness, we found a small, tiny government apartment where she could stay for a while. But the biggest bad thing was that she was born a dog. As the apartment said that we don't keep dogs. And with 3 days of a deadline, we had to search for a place for her. We were desperate in searching a place. And hope came in the form of an animal activist who was willing to take her in and treat her like her own. She had a dog sanctuary where she would treat the dogs well, feed them, and keep her safe. Now, I couldn't look at her in her soft brown eyes and feel her pain once again being taken away from us. So when she had to go, I did not look at her. I told her to go away without me saying goodbye. At that very moment, I decided that she would still be safe because she wouldn't be abandoned on the streets. She wouldn't be left or sold for dog meat or skinned alive, like how it usually is here. And this is where I learned my fourth and final lesson. That don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. I am thankful that I was able to adopt such an adorable and beautiful dog. That I was able to save a person's life, save an animal's life, and give her love, a home, and affection that she deserved, and not just left her alone to die. I was able to keep memories of her, and that I still hear my mother say that she's not eating, or she still sits outside that gate waiting for us to come back and take her home. I still hear her at home thinking that she's outside my door, scratching the door, waiting for me to let her in and sleep next to me. But that's not the case. She's in a better place. She's in a safer place than what we could have given her. But her memories will live on forever. So friends, I'll tell you something. Please adopt a pet. Parents, students, adopt an abandoned pet. You never know how many life lessons you will learn. You will never know how much you will be able to learn from them and how enriched your life will become. Thank you.